G'day everyone and welcome to the Spectral Demonstration video. My name is Gamma, at least that's what you can call me, and welcome to my video. So we're going to get straight into this. The reason I'm showing you this, or what I am showing you, is the spectral ship, and I'm doing that because a video will be better at demonstrating the ship than just the images that I'm uploading to CG Trader, for example. So this will be in the link of all the descriptions of anywhere I have the ship advertised or for sale or whatever. I just want to show you guys first off that it comes with two different window materials. You've got, of course, the see-through, and then you've got the tinted, which I've just shown you here. They're right next to each other on the materials menu here, so it's pretty easy to see there. Second thing with the materials is the glow. Now I've got this advertised, and I describe it as a stealth dropship / gunship, and some people would comment on the glow. That can be taken off. You just click on the glow material and then you just get rid of the emission. Same for the engines here. If you want to tone this down and make it a stealth ship, or put it into stealth mode. That was what I had in mind when I made it. So that it had like a stealth mode and a combat mode, because I don't know, I like glowing shit. Makes it look cool and powerful, I guess. But yeah, it's supposed to be an energy-based ship. Even the weapons don't have visible ammunition. It's all energy weaponry, and yeah, that's why I integrated the glow in design. The other thing I want to say quickly, we're using 2.79 here. This will work with any blender cycles. At the time of making this though, 2.8 with the Eevee render engine, that's very unstable at the moment, and I'll probably, when that becomes stable, I'll probably make an Eevee render version of this ship when it's stable, but right now I can't use it. It just crashes all the time. So yeah, at the time of making this, Eevee isn't really viable, so sticking with cycles, and 2.79 is the latest version that's stable. So yeah, we'll jumping into the rigging. I just want to show you guys quickly that the everything moves. So the turret moves, and it's kind of locked, so it can only move the way you want it to move. And same with this part here. So you've got full control over this too. You've got it's completely it's completely movable. You can see here the wheels do have a rigging bone on them. The back wheels are joined together, but the front wheel is separate. If you want to move them both at the same time though, easy to do. You just hold shift and then select both wheels. So yeah, so it's 1, shift, 2, and then you've got both of them there. If you want to tuck up the wheels completely after takeoff, then you can do that. You just shove them right up under there, and then they're gone, and you can't see them from underneath. Ooh, there's a little bit sticking out still. That does give you a mesh collision though, though it's not, it's not visible from out here. If you don't want a mesh collision and you're comfortable with the wheels sticking out a little bit, because a lot of real life planes do that. You can still see the wheels sticking out, even after takeoff. They're just sort of tucked up underneath there. There you go. You can do that as well, and that's still, landing gear is still up. That's totally up to you. Just trying to bring the wheels back down. There we go. Second thing, sorry, the last rigging thing that I want to show you guys is the door here. That the door doubles as a ramp, and I'll show you why I designed it like this in a minute. So I had to look at a lot of different sci-fi dropships and even real life things to come up with this design. The interior, it's not all one solid object. You should know that it is a bunch of different objects, and the reason for that is so that you can gut the ship if you want. You can get rid of all the different things that are in here, and you can, I guess you could put your own stuff in there if you wanted to. There's a little sneaky storage area under the grid here. Hold on, I'll just lift up a grid. But you can, as you can see, you can get up under here, and you can see out, so that you could put things under here and you'd see them. You could see them in a render. They'd be underneath the grid. put like soldiers' backpacks or whatever. But yeah, little sneaky storage area right there, and it's sealed off. I remember when I was making this, and this area here, I had no idea what to do with this. I had this empty space, and I was like, well, what do I even put here? And I had a look at a lot of different other ships and designs, and I was like, I saw that a lot of them used like ammo bags and stuff, as well as screens. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. So I made up some screens and some ammo like chests over here, and all different kinds of stuff. That screen here, this screen is actually that was what I did for that. I was like, oh, it'd be cool to have some schematic on the schematic on the ship. So what I did is I took a picture of the ship in wireframe mode, and I just yeah, I changed the color of it in Photoshop, and I made it an image and stuck it to the screen there. So as you can see from the wireframe mode, though, the reason I'm showing you this is that it doesn't have any, it doesn't really have much like interior. Like there's no engines, there's not a lot of detail in the inside. It's all just sort of for show for the interior part of the dropship, of course, and the exterior. There are some pipes, but there's no engine or anything in here. Don't expect to find anything like that. It's all yeah, it's all just for visual purposes. Now moving into the cockpit area. The design for this sort of thing, I took some inspiration from like Elite Dangerous and that sort of stuff, where they have, you know, like the gaming controls here. It's like, you know, very a SideTech X52 in joystick sort of setup with the throttle. This is supposed to be set up so that the front here, this is like the navigator slash gunner, and the second seat here, over here where you can't see anymore because I just switched it to render view, but this is supposed to be the pilot, with, you know, the one with the joystick. Yeah, there we go, you can see now. But yeah, that's supposed to be navigator slash gunner. He controls the little turret at the front, and he flies the ship. That's how I had it set up in my mind. And they've got screens in front of them, as well as the sticks and other control panels. Yeah, so moving over to design, what, you know, how did I design this ship? What you know, inspired me? I had a look at a few different things. You know, the F-117 Nighthawk and all of the different stealth ships that have come out over the years with this sort of sleek black sort of you know, I don't know what you'd call it, like a sci-fi design. These ships look very sci-fi, and to think these things came out around, geez, I can't remember. I think they came out around the 80s, but they were probably being built before that. You know, you've got the B-2 Spirit bomber here, and the more modern takes on these is like the Stealth Black Hawk. You know, the very pointy nose, the very sort of angular. You know, you got little angles in here, and it's very sleek design. I really like those, and these are modern stealth things. So I designed this ship with this sort of aesthetic in mind. I was like, I want it to look. This is basically the modern equivalent to a stealth dropship. It's the Black Hawk. It is a troop transport. Other things I looked at for fiction-wise, Quinjets were a pretty cool inspiration. I had a look at lots of different concepts for those, and the Pelican from Halo, as well as other different sci-fi dropships. You know, that's where I saw like, oh yeah, you got screens and you got ammo packs in here. Little storage compartments. That would be a good idea to put in into the ship. And the door, which I had a little bit of trouble with the engines. I didn't know what to do with those, but setting them up high, like the Pelican has, like its engines are set up high, worked really well with the stealth design as well, because it gives it this sleek, angular sort of look. And it all came together quite well. I had a look at a lot of different things here. As you can see, yeah, the engine's set up high, and then yeah, the door doubles as a ramp. It's all, yeah, it all came together really well. I had a look at a lot of different ships I just kind of downloaded a lot of different things into my mind. I wanted to take from real life and science fiction to try and make something that was somewhat unique. Yeah, it's, as it says in the description, its function is supposed to be a stealth ship and a gunship, like a light gunship. The idea for my project was I needed a ship that was very stealthy, so I even made like transparent materials to put over the whole ship. If you want to do that yourself, the best way to do that is when you have your soldiers or whatever inside the ship, you put them on a different layer in Blender, and that way you can just easily, you know, get rid of them when you stealth up the ship, because you don't want them to look like, you know, Wonder Woman inside the invisible jet, where like the jet's invisible and you've got people standing in there like, oh, they can still see this, because that'll happen. So you put the soldiers on a different layer, and you just make a transparent material, and then you put that transparent with a little bit of translucency, so you can see some of this outline. Because, you know, you want to make, if you wanted to make like an invisible render, you still have to see the ship yourself, but you have to see that it's invisible, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's, you know, if you wanted to stealth it up like that, like a sci-fi, you know, stealth function, because most stealth in real life just involves like radar. That's what those modern ships are designed for. They're not supposed to be visually stealthy. They're supposed to be like, you know, not easily detectable on radar. But the idea for this ship was like it needed to cloak, get in, drop troops off, and then would run stealth attacks as support if needed. So like if the troops needed some air support quickly, the ship would decloak, it could shoot and then cloak again. And it it has a very good power supply system to be able to run all the different systems and all the different you know, energy-based weapons, all that sort of stuff. Eat up a lot of power. But yeah, that was what I had in mind for this when I made it. If you're looking at this as potentially to buy it, you can use it for whatever you have in mind. You can even strip the guts of it out and put different stuff in there if you want. Yeah, probably not good for game design. I mean, animation, I rigged it up so it would be really good for animation, as well as, you know, just visual renders. If you want this as for a game, it does have a lot of vertices. You could just message me on any of the platforms that I have in the description of the video, and, you know, I'll if you show me, you know, if you tell me that I want this for my game, then maybe I'll go over it and get rid of the vertices, because it has a lot of vertices. Yeah, if you want it for that, just let me know. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this demonstration. That's it from me. Any questions, just leave a comment or message me, like I said. Bye.